My name is Sudhir and you're watching your favorite digital classroom study with Sudhir. Now this video is slightly different because this is like an open letter that I'm writing to those in charge of the board examinations at the ICSE Council. Now why am I doing this video? Because I want to raise a couple of important questions. Will the ICSE Class 10 and the ISC Class 12 Term 1 board examinations that will be conducted starting mid-November and spilling into December first week, will they be absolutely fair? Point number 2, will the council actually manage to prevent cheating? Now, why am I asking these questions? Because you would recall a couple of days ago, I put out a video in which I spoke about how the ICSE and ISC board exams, which will be held online this time, will be proctored examinations. I'd also mentioned about how many private engineering colleges and universities this year conducted these kind of proctored examinations, but I can tell you many of them proved to be quite a sham with rampant cheating taking place. In response to that video, a student from a very prominent school sent me bullet points on how proctored examinations at his school in the month of August proved to be an absolute fraud exercise, with many students adopting unfair means, and they actually got away with it. So this video is for those at the council to ensure that the board examinations which they plan to conduct in November, December are not a sham on similar lines, and it doesn't go against those students who actually do their studying and work very honestly. It wouldn't really be fair if the exams are not 100% fair, right? Now, what did this student write to me? And he was writing this to me on behalf of many students like him. And I do believe that many students and parents and educators also share the same concern. Now, he wrote that during his school examinations, students hid phones near their laptop or desktop keyboards and Googled. Some sent pictures of solutions into group chats and got back solutions in return. Point number 2. The cameras did not capture the writing area well enough. They simply kept their phones there and managed to Google the answers. Point number 3 that he said, some sought the help of friends from other schools and even created group chats, which could be on WhatsApp, on various other platforms. Instead of wasting time Googling, now this particular group, they took pictures of the question paper during the time that they get in order to read the paper, or at least in the first 5 minutes or so. And the people in the group chat distributed the work amongst themselves, or probably it was pre-decided, and within 30 minutes the entire paper was actually solved. And then the answers were sent over some app or the other to the other members of the groups. One student actually sent his mathematics paper to his tuition teacher and got back solutions. I personally feel this tuition teacher should stop teaching, because if these are the values that he is actually teaching to his students, I really think it's a matter of great shame, great shame. If this is happening in a single school, and this is not a small school, this is a prominent school in a metro city. If this is happening in a school like this, and I'm sure this would be the case with many other schools across the country, how will the council monitor 2 lakh students for class 10 and approximately 90,000 odd students as far as class 12 are concerned? Now, I know it for a fact that many engineering colleges and universities this year used artificial intelligence proctored entrance examinations. The problem with that is that the artificial intelligence, AI, has a circle on the camera output in which your face should be there while you are taking the examination, right? Now, it's quite difficult for a student to be just within that limited space of the circle for an entire duration of 2 hours, right? So you may move this side, you may move this side. The moment you do so, the artificial intelligence will try to behave, or it will pretend, or it will indicate that you are up to something which is not to be done, right? Even if you actually look down to solve the paper, it will object and it will say, look at the camera, because that's how it has been engineered. That's how it has been programmed. So you realize that AI has its own limitations. It does not prevent cheating the way it is supposed to be, and instead actually goes after the things which actually don't mean any harm. So you see, it's not a perfect system in that sense. It's not an accurate barometer of how a student is actually conducting himself or herself during the examination. Now, you cannot do physically proctored examinations because you would then need an enormous amount of manpower and women power, right? As I said, close to 2 lakh plus 90,000, around 3 lakh students in all. So what is the solution? And that's what I would really want the ICSE Council to tell us. How do they kind of, do I tell the students, do we tell the students that tum bhi kar lo cheating, or do we tell them that tum honestly karo, but this may mean that someone who is dishonest may actually get more marks than you? That's how the situation is, and that's what is causing a lot of anxiety among the students and the parents. One of the solutions could be that have an external webcam which is located a few feet away that shows your desk and your entire laptop, the entire writing area, okay, the table as it were. Now, I do not know how the council will really ensure this. Point number 2. In the case of some engineering entrance examinations, you have to move, they ask you to move the camera 360 degrees to show that there is no one else in the room or in that space where the student is sitting, right? At your home, to just show that there is nobody else. They ask you to do that sometimes once definitely, sometimes even twice. Okay, will the council do that? But even if they do these 2 steps, I do think that these have their limitations. The Gen Next is actually smarter than what the council thinks. I personally think that the online examinations will be a huge disappointment if these kind of loopholes are not plugged, or if the online examinations are not held in the school premises. See, most of the schools in most of the states are now actually open, right? So why not ensure that each of these schools be an exam center where there is good Wi-Fi connectivity to ensure that there are no technical hiccups. Ask the students to get their devices into the schools and ensure that there is proper vigilance like the way you normally do it in a physical examination, right? Let the exams not be a forum where the students who adopt unfair means get ahead of the students who actually do their studying and work in an honest manner. That's my limited plea, and I really hope the council will pay heed, and also there be communication wherein you kind of tell the student community, the parent community, the educator community that yes, we are conscious of all these loopholes and we will ensure that the exams that are held starting the middle of 15th of November will be an absolutely fair exercise. Thank you very much for listening and watching.